Right, so what we're going to be doing this morning is we're going to be working with hip stabilizers and hip flexors and really understanding the relationship with our feet. So we tend to not think about our feet that much, but I think what I've been thinking about this week is if we start getting niggly pains in our knees and in our hips and in our back, before we reach for the chiropractors and the pain relief, it's worth checking what's going on with your feet, because over time, as we get older, our feet change, just like the rest of our bodies change. That's the first thing. And secondly, it depends on what kind of lifestyle we've got. So if you are living out in the countryside, if you're a very active person, and if you're wearing like Wellington boots a lot, if you're wearing Ugg boots, these very sort of sloppy, comfortable things a lot, you're not getting any foot support inside that footwear. And so therefore, over time, your arches in your feet can collapse. And so what happens is that if the arches of the feet collapse here, then the knees start to fall in a little bit, which then causes problems here in the hips. So what we're going to do is we're going to work with some movement and some yoga postures that get into these muscles that actually help with that, so that we strengthen the insides of the feet and the legs to try and make that not happen, basically. So let's just have a little go and see how we feel when we're doing it. So you'll need a chair and you'll need a belt for this. So let's settle ourselves down. So just center yourself now, bringing your awareness to your posture, the contact with the mat through your shins, the tops of your feet, through your seat if you're sitting cross-legged on the floor. And just relax. Just empty out the mind. All the stuff of the day, we're not interested in that just now, so just sweep that away. And then just taking your awareness then into the body. So now that the mind is relaxed, we're going to relax the body. Take your awareness to your feet. And just relax your feet. And then moving up the legs, through the shins, calves, the knees, the thighs. And then just rolling the hips forward. So just tilting the pelvis forward just a little. So just let the spine lift and lengthen up towards the ceiling. You can feel now your chest is opening, lifting, the shoulders are broadening and dropping. Arms are heavy by your sides, and just let the hands rest on top of the thighs. The head is nice and centered between the shoulders. And the face is holding no expression, so just relax the forehead, the eyes, the jaw. And then just to make sure that we are fully relaxed, just go ahead and do that body scan again. Start at the feet, work your way up. Just letting go of any tension that you might be holding. And then from here, we're going to go into our warm-ups then. So take a breath in, and as you exhale, dropping your chin down towards the chest. And then inhaling, lifting the chin away slightly. And then exhaling, drawing it a little closer to the chest. And inhaling last time, take it away. And then exhaling, really lengthening the back of the neck. And then inhaling, rolling the head up towards the right shoulder. So just turn your head so that you get that ear dangling right over the shoulder, stretching out the left side of the neck. And then exhaling, rolling the head back down to center, inhaling, coming up on the left. So again, just get that ear centered over the shoulder, stretch out the right side of the neck. And then exhaling, lowering, inhaling, coming back up on the right. So just nice and gentle head rolls then from side to side, feeling into the neck muscles. Keep the spine nice and straight. Couple of more. Good, and the next time the head comes down to center, we're going to pause that practice. Inhaling, lifting your head up to between the shoulders and continue with shoulder rolls. Send the shoulders back, circle them up and forward. Take them back, up and forward. So let's just get some movement in the shoulders. And then reverse the circling, so go the other way, forward, up and back. And then just next time the shoulders come down, just leaving them there. And then we're going to work with the seated spinal twist to wake up our spine. So you're going to take your right hand to the outside of the left knee. Let the left hand rest behind you on the mat, or have the palm up against your yoga support. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, turning. Good, and then coming the other way. Left hand to the right knee, the right hand rests behind you. Inhale, nice and long. And then exhale, just rotate on your axis. Good. Coming back the other way. Right hand, left knee, the left hand rests behind you. Inhale. And then exhale, turn. Last time to the right. Left hand, right knee, the right hand rests behind you. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, just letting go. Good, coming back to center. Let's come off the yoga supports. If you're on them, come down onto your backs. Just rest down for a minute here with your knees bent, your feet flat on the mat. Or you can bring your knees already towards your chest, but just take a few moments just to breathe in and out of the nose. Let the body be heavy. And then we're going to work with the hip rolls. So you're going to leave your arms by your side and bring your hands to the front of the knees. On an inhale, circle the knees out, down and away, and then exhaling when you bring them back to the chest. So inhale, circle out, down and away, exhale, bring them back. Just waking up the hips. And the next time the knees come to center, just slide your hands to the inside of the knees, take a breath in, and as you exhale, let them drop out to the side. Just a gentle inner thigh stretch here. Good, and then on an inhale, bringing the knees back together, a couple of more hip rolls. And then keeping the knees together then for the sacral circling. So choose which direction you want to go in. Circle both knees in that direction. And drawing circles around the sacrum, around the lower spine. Good, and then reverse the circles, go the opposite way. Good. And the next time the knees come to center, we have completed our warm-ups now. So we're ready for our first posture. And we're going to stay here on our backs, working with reclining bound angle pose, okay? So you're going to bring the soles of your feet together. You're going to let the knees drop out to the side. You're going to have your arms by your side, palms facing down, and we're going to do some pelvic lifts, but we're going to do it with a hold. So on an inhale, you're going to lift the pelvis off the mat, and then you're going to take a breath in and out, and then in again, and then as you exhale, lower. So here we go. Inhale, lifting the pelvis off the mat, pressing the soles of the feet together here. Take a breath in and out as you hold. And then take another breath in and then exhale, lower. So we're going to do this a few times. So get into your own rhythm here. And just start to notice what muscles are involved here. So these are the muscles that are involved in taking your legs away, the abductors. And of course, that's the outside of the legs and the glutes. So you're getting into the buttocks area here. At the same time, you're stretching the inside of your legs. But very important that we're keeping the pressure of the soles of the feet together so that we're stretching the muscles. Just remembering to hold for the breath. When you lift the pelvis off, it doesn't have to be high or anything. Shoulders are on the mat. Shoulders are away from the ears. Good. So one more. Lifting up. Take a breath in and out. Good. And then take a breath in and lower for the last time. Lovely. And on inhale, bring the knees back in. And we're going to continue to stay here. We're going to work with leg lifts. So you're going to keep your left knee bent. You're going to straighten your right leg, keep your arms by your side, and then on an inhale, keeping the foot flexed, we're going to lift the right leg up, and then exhaling, lower. So inhaling up, and then exhaling, lower. So now we're starting to get into the muscles that are involved with the forward and backwards movement of your legs, which are the hip flexors here and the hips. And you're also getting into the connection to the inside of the knees here. So you're feeling the strengthening happening. Good. Keep the foot flexed so that we're sending the heel up towards the ceiling. Slight bend in the knee though, we don't need to lock out here. One more. Good. And then when that right leg comes down, we're going to bend the right knee, place the foot on the mat, and now we're going to straighten the left leg. So let's do a bit of work on the left side. So on an inhale then, lifting up the left leg, send the heel away. So this is really good exercise actually for strengthening these hip flexors here. Great for balance. So important to keep our balance as we get older, so we lessen our chances of falling over. So one more. Inhale and then exhale. We're going to lower. Good. Okay, so bringing your knees to your chest, taking a breath in as you exhale, roll over onto one side. And we're going to come onto all fours. So we're going to work with tabletop. I'm just going to show you. We've done this before. This is called the hydrant, fire hydrant leg lift, because this is what dogs do at fire hydrants. They lift their legs, don't they? So here in tabletop, get yourself stable, and then we lift the leg out to the side. But we're going to keep the shin here parallel to the floor. So it's out this way and in. So just be aware of wanting to rotate. So we want to keep the hips level. That might mean that the leg doesn't come up that far, but we're going to be getting now into these deeper muscles here, which are the abductors. So I'm going to turn to face you so that you can see me here. So getting into your tabletop. Now remember, if your wrists get sore, we can always roll the mat and have some extra padding under the wrists if we need it, all right? So we're going to get our knees underneath our hips. Your toes are on the mat. Toes are tucked under, and then on an inhale, then lifting that right leg out to the side. So keep the foot flexed, like that, and then exhale, bringing it down. Inhale, lifting out to the side. Exhale, bringing it back. Now, of course, you're going to have to be strong through that right arm to steady yourself, to keep the hips level. So we're getting deep into these buttock muscles here. So this is a really good exercise for strengthening the muscles that we use, for example, in Warrior 3. Good. One more out to the side. Shoulders away from the ears. Good. Let's take that to the left. Inhale. The left leg out. Shin is parallel to the mat and the foot is flexed. Strong through that left arm. Keep yourself parallel here. Shoulders away from the ears. Good. We're getting deep, deep, deep into the buttock muscles here. Maybe there are a few muscles you didn't know you had. You can understand that if you sit a lot, these are muscles that are simply not going to be used at all. Right, one more. And then lower. Good. So just sit back on your heels. Take a breath or two. Just let the wrist relax a little bit. Have some movement. I'm just going to turn so that you can see me from the side for the next thing. Right, we're going to stay with tabletop, but we're going to get now into the hip flexors again, okay? So let me just show you. This time, we're going to send the leg back, and then we're going to bring the knee to the nose. It might not reach the nose, it doesn't matter. It might be here, it doesn't matter. So it's an inhale, send the heel away, and then bring it in so that we again get into these hip flexors. So if you need wrist support, make a little roll of your mat. Get yourself into tabletop. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, toes tucked under. Inhale, send the right leg away, flex the foot. Exhale, bringing the knee to the nose. Send the leg away. Inhale, exhale, knee to nose. Keep the left thigh perpendicular to the mat. So again, strong through the arms here. This is the sort of exercise that will help with tree pose, anything on one leg. One more, last time. Send the heel away. Exhaling. Good. Bring that right knee down. Let's do the other side. Inhale, the left leg goes back. Exhaling, knee to the face. Inhale. Exhale. Be mindful of your alignment here. Keep the hips centered. Try not to sway out to the right. Strong through the arms here. One more. Good, and then lower that knee, sitting back on the heels. Good, give yourself some movement. We're now going to get up into standing. So we're going to remove the blanket if you've got it out of the way. And we're going to get up into mountain pose. Good. So let's just get ourselves balanced then. So feet underneath the hips, nice and tall, palms facing forward. Feeling nice and grounded through both feet here. Let everything relax. Just finding your center here, feeling nice and balanced. Just feel into your feet here. So just notice, take your awareness to the arches of your feet. And lift up your toes. And when you lift up your toes, you get that slight movement of the knees coming a little bit more out to the side as opposed to kind of falling in. So place your toes back, down onto the mat, relax, and then lift up your toes. That immediately engages the muscles up your legs, stabilizes the knee. So like I said, if you're wearing wellies a lot and Ugg boots a lot, these arches are going to fall in and the knees will follow. Good, so let's do some exercises then to do some strengthening. So you're going to have your chair to the left of you so that the back of the chair is facing your left thigh. Let me just show you then. So we're going to take a breath in. We're going to lift the leg up with the knee bent and the foot flexed. We're going to exhale, take it out to the side. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, send the heel back so that we're extending the leg. Exhale, back to center and down. We're going to be doing that 3 times on each side. So again, you've got your hand on your chair if you need it. Inhale, lifting up the knee, foot flexed. Exhale, take that leg out to the side. Strong through the standing leg. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, send the heel backwards. Keep yourself nice and straight so you're not falling forward here. You're staying in mountain the whole time. Inhale, bring it back to center. And then exhale. Right, that's one done. Inhale, lift. Exhale. Out to the side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, send the foot back. Foot off the floor. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, back down. Last one. Inhale. Lift up to the knee. Exhale, take it out to the side. Inhale back to center. Exhale, send the heel back without leaning forward. Inhale, lift the knee back. And exhale, placing the foot back on the mat. Good. Getting the support on the other side, so whether that's a wall or a chair, if you need it. Here we go on the other side. Inhale, lift up the knee. Exhale, take it out to the side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, send that heel back like this. Inhale, back to center. And then exhale, placing it back on the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, nice and tall through the standing leg here. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, send the heel back without leaning forward. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, bring the foot down. Last one. Inhale, lift up the knee. Exhale, out to the side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, send the heel away. Nice and tall though. Inhale, back to center. And then exhale, lower. Lovely. So what you're going to feel is that you're working these deep muscles in here, not just the glutes here, but in here on the standing leg. So as you're doing all of this, it's here that it's working. Good. So good for balance. Lovely. Move your chair now to the front of you, or actually, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep the chair where it is on the right, and I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to do some high lunges with leg lift. So we're going to bring the left leg back, and then we're going to lift up the knee. And then we're going to send the leg back, and then we're going to lift up the knee. So from the side, it looks like that. And then we're going to add the arm. So after a couple of goes, you're going to lift up the arm and bring the arm down, same time as lifting the leg. But you'll have your chair here, so you're going to have some support, okay? So with the chair on the right side, where you need it, take a step back with your left foot, not too far. If you take your foot too far back, it's going to be a struggle coming forward. Nice and straight. Take an inhale. Exhale, lift up the knee. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, foot flexed. Inhale, take it back. Exhale. Good, we're going to add the arm. Inhale, take the leg back. Left arm goes up. Exhale, drop the arm. Knee goes up. Inhale back. Good. Maybe add a little twist to the left here. So inhale, exhale, turn. Just slightly. Last one. And then next time your foot comes back and the arm comes up, just pause, lower the arm and bring your left foot to the front. Good, so maybe now perhaps move in such a way that you've got your support on the other side. Take your right foot back, bend your left knee, obviously a little bit. Let's just do it without the arm for the first couple of goes. Take an inhale, and as we exhale, lift up the knee and pause. So have the foot flexed. Inhale, send the foot back. Inhale, lift up the knee. Good, foot back. Lifting up, we're going to add the arm. Inhale, arm goes up. Exhale, knee goes up, arm comes down. Maybe just a little turn to the right. as the arm comes down. Just slightly. Good, last one. And bringing the foot back, then the arm up. And then we're going to lower the arm and coming back to center. Right, what we're going to do next is we're going to do some knee dips. Now this is the sort of thing you can do in a number of poses, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to leave the support there on the left. If it feels all right, lift up your foot, hold it, so that it's like that with the knee down. But if this is causing any knee trouble, then you're just going to let go and have your leg just holding there with the shin parallel to the mat, okay? So if this is causing any strain in the knee at all, not hurting, then we're going to have it there. So I'm going to hold my leg, keeping yourself nice and straight in mountain. We're going to do some knee dips. So just start to bend that left knee a little. You've got the chair there for support if you need it. It doesn't have to be a big, deep dip. But just feel now how that really gets into, you're working the thigh, but also the muscles around the knee there. And the shins are involved. And of course, your feet are nice and grounded here into the mat when you do this. So this little knee dip movement is activating all the muscles from your foot all the way up here into the hip. This is a really excellent way of strengthening all the muscles that are involved in pelvis stabilization, but also knee strength and foot strength. Good, one more dip. Lovely, now we're going to let that go. If you're using the chair, then maybe move that on the other side or turn in such a way that you've got a wall next to you there, and then lift up the left leg. So again, if this is causing tweaking in the knee, you're just going to let that leg drop down and do dips without holding the foot. But if it feels all right, we're getting a little thigh stretch there at the same time. So nice and aligned, chest facing forward, hips are parallel and square, and get ready to do your knee dips then. So just dipping down. You have to bend the knee a lot. And it might feel really different on this side. This is the sort of movement where you start to really feel into why a posture is easier or less wobbly on one side than the other. You see I'm wobbling now on this side because I know that this right side of mine here is actually a little weaker. There are a whole number of reasons for that, and I know why. This is the journey of discovery. That is yoga. A couple more knee dips. See how the feet are loving this. They're getting a good workout, your feet now, as you do this, and the knees. Lovely, one more. And coming back up, and if you're holding the foot, you're going to let that go. So just put the chair to one side now. We're going to work with chair pose, but we're going to work with it slightly differently. So we're going to do what I call normal chair pose, and then we're going to add something a little extra to it. And I'm going to show you something. You don't have to do it, but at the moment, but I'll show you how you can use your belt as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into chair pose. We're going to do this together. So take a breath in, have your feet a couple of inches apart here, nice and tall. Take a breath in and then sit down. So send your hips back, then the knees, let the knees track over the tops of the feet. And for this, we're just going to take the arms parallel, okay? We're not going to lift up the balance, we're just going to stay here. So this is chair pose then. We've done this many times. And you're feeling that your thighs here, the quadriceps, are working. And that's fine. So take a couple of more breaths here. feeling into your chair pose. Good, and then on an inhale, you're going to come back up. I'm going to turn to face you. We're going to add a little extra awareness this time. We're going to do exactly the same thing, and then we're going to add a little extra awareness. So take a breath in, come back down, sit back down, the knees track over the feet, your arms come forward. From here, you're going to pretend like you want to tear the mat apart in opposite directions. So ground your feet down into the mat and really see if you can tear the mat in half. And when you do that, you're now suddenly engaging all these deeper muscles here in the glutes, which you weren't doing before when we were just doing normal chair pose. So just feel how interesting it is that we can add a whole new dimension to this posture by activating all the muscles here around the hips. I mean, the thighs are still working. Good. Keep grounding, keep tearing that mat apart. Maybe these are the muscles you didn't know you had. Good, and then on an inhale, coming back up. It's like a whole new world of chair pose. And what you can do, if you have a belt, and you quite like working in this way, then you can put the belt, I'm just going to show you, I'm going to do it. You put the belt around your thighs just above your knees, and then again, push against the belt. So if you have a belt, you can play with this at home, just make sure that your knees are tracking over your feet. And it's a brilliant way of getting a little bit more out of the posture. Lovely. We are now going to come down onto the mat. And we are going to do a little bit more work here into these glutes and into the leg strength. Now, you might want to have your bolster to hand. And I'll show you why. So we're going to work with forearm plank, which is where you're going to bring your elbows underneath your shoulders and you're going to make a fist. Make a fist out of your hands and lift up the pinky. Let the pinky fingers be straight. And what we're going to do here in forearm plank is we're going to add some leg lifts. Because it's when we lift up the leg, can be just slightly, just an inch or two off the mat, we get a huge strengthening in the thighs, but also around the knees and into these muscles here that we've been talking about today. Now, if this is a huge strain on the shoulders and you're starting to sag, because it's an arm workout as well, then get your bolster just underneath your thighs for support. And you can still just feel into the leg muscles here with the bolster, just taking a little bit of the weight off. So decide how you would like to work. So don't strain your shoulders. If you start to sag, then just get the bolster in place. So we're going to start with the elbows underneath the shoulders. Make your triangle, make your fist. Straighten out the pinkies. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees off the mat. Really grounding strongly through the forearms. And then maybe try a few lifts. You're certainly working the core. So maybe you need to come down and have a break. Take a breath or two. Doesn't have to be high, the leg lift, but just feel how that gets into the muscles in the leg that stays on the mat. It adds that extra dimension, that extra focus in the posture compared to when it's just stable and still. Now for me, I'm feeling this in the knees, strengthening all around the knees, but maybe for you it's the thighs. Good. Come out when you need to. Lovely. And then we're going to bring the knees back onto the mat. We're going to take the knees out wide into child's pose, toes together, and just come back now. Just let yourself come back and resting down in child's pose. Maybe that involves a block under the head. But let's just take a nice stretch now into the lower spine here and into the legs that we've been working on. Good. And then on an inhale, calming back up. Lovely. This brings us then to our nice stretching part of this sequence, because we've done a lot of work in the legs. So now we're going to stretch them out. So if you've got a wall to hand, you don't need to, but if you have a wall, put your right foot up against it. Straighten that right leg. Place a belt over the balls of your foot. Nearly straighten that left leg. Leave a slight bend in the knee. And then we're going to find the hamstring. So let's just relax down. You can do this without the wall, but the wall is a nice sort of support for keeping your spine nice and straight. So you're going to be grounding down through your lower spine to make sure that you're not sort of hitching up on the left here. So make sure that that left buttock is drawing down towards the bottom of the mat, and then play with your stretch. Slight bend in the left knee here as well, remember? And the shoulders are relaxed. So take some nice deep breaths here. Keep that right leg active with the sole of the foot gently pressing into the wall, or if you don't have the wall, then just ground the heel down into the floor, into the mat. So we're wanting to feel the stretch here between the back of the kneecap and where it connects to the buttock. A couple more breaths here. Remember to let go of any tension in your shoulders here. So if you've got your shoulders right up into your ears, and just let them come back. Good. We're now going to take this leg out to the side. So take both sides of the belt in your left hand. Take your right hand onto your right hip to make sure that that doesn't lift up. Take a breath in as you exhale. Take that left leg out to the side. Just press the ball of the foot into the belt so that we're engaging the muscles here, so that we're stretching the inside here of the left thigh. Keep that right thigh, and on the mat, it helps to press through the foot against the wall here, or the heel into the mat. Shoulders away from the ears, just check in. Good, and then on an inhale, you're going to bring that left leg back, and we're going to switch over. The left foot goes up against the wall, or the heel grounds into the floor. Nearly straighten that right knee. Take a breath in as you exhale now, draw that right foot up towards your face. Again, see what there is here. Just making sure that you're grounding down through the mat here, through the lower spine, so that we're keeping the hips nice and level, so that you're not hitching up on the right side. Just pressing the ball of the right foot into the belt, just to engage the muscles. A couple more breaths before we take it out to the side. Take both sides of the belt into your right hand. Place your left hand onto the left hip just to keep that stable. Take a breath in as you exhale. Take the right leg out to the side. Still grounding down through the lower spines. Again, just be mindful of any little twists in the lower spine area. And keep that nice and straight. Good. A couple more breaths on this side. And on an inhale, bending that right knee, bringing the leg back in and lifting the belt away. Good. We're going to now get into a glute stretch because, of course, we've been working a lot here. So if you've got the wall, an option is to bring your hips close enough to the wall so that you can put your right foot on the wall and have a 90-degree angle in the knee, and then bring your left foot across just underneath the kneecap so that your left knee is bent. And then from here, pressure through the foot against the wall. You can ease out that left knee. Just engage the glute on the left side. If you don't have the wall, then we just do it by placing the left foot over and then reaching through, taking the hands to behind the thigh or in front of the knee. Relaxing the shin down, the right shin, just let that right foot drop down, and then using the elbow to encourage that left knee out to the side so that we get the glute stretch here on the left. So with or without the wall, choose which way you are working. But either way, same as the hamstring stretch, make sure you're grounding down through the back of your pelvis, through the sacrum, to make sure that your spine is absolutely perpendicular so that we're not twisting in any way. Good. One or two more breaths, and then we're going to switch over. And then take a breath in. If you've got no wall, then just placing that right foot back down. And again, if you're on the wall, we're going to now switch sides. So now the left foot is going to come up against the wall. Make that 90-degree angle there and then ease out the right knee. But keep grounding down through the lower spine. I can't say this often enough. Just to make sure that your hips aren't swaying out to the side or hitching up in any way. That we really focus on the glute stretch only. But if you have no wall, then again, take the left ankle across, reach through, have your hands hold behind the thigh or in front of the knee, whichever works best for you. Relax the left foot and then ease out that right knee with your elbow, your right elbow. A couple more breaths here. And then take a breath in, and then if you're free from the wall, then just placing your left foot down on the mat. Good. And then you're going to take a breath in, exhaling, rolling over onto one side. Good. So we've got time for a little bit of meditation before going into our relaxation. So just make sure that you put on your layers now, ready to go into Shavasana, into relaxation after we've had our little settling down. So make sure you now bring yourself with the socks, with the tops that you need, just to be comfortable. And then getting yourself into a comfortable sitting position. So maybe that's cross-legged on the mat, or coming back to sit across the bolster. And just finding a nice, comfortable, seated posture here, making sure that your legs are relaxed, that your pelvis is tilted slightly forward, so we've got that nice straight spine lengthening up towards the ceiling. Your hands are resting on your thighs. You can have your palms down or up, whichever way you prefer. And then closing the eyes. And then taking your focus, if that helps to have a focus, taking it to the third eye, to that point right in the middle of the forehead. And just letting the breath come in nice and easy, in and out of the nose. For the next few minutes. allowing that practice to end on the next exhale. You're going to go from here, just maintaining your stillness, going down into your Shavasana. So perhaps having a blanket over your head, underneath your head, or over you, rolling the bolster to underneath your knees. Feet are hip width apart. Take your arms out, away from your sides, palms facing up. Just check that you are completely relaxed. Do a quick body scan. And then let the breath settle in and out of the nose. And then taking your awareness within to that place of hovering between fully awake and asleep. And you'll hear the bell when we're ready to come out. So bring yourself back into the room, back into the body now. Just making some gentle movements to the hands, to the feet. And if you want to, taking your arms up over your head and taking a nice long stretch down the length of the body. Then bringing one knee to the chest and then the other. If it feels all right, just hugging the knees, taking a gentle rock from side to side. And then rolling over onto your right side and just pausing there and taking some deep breaths into the back of the chest. And then pushing the upper arm into the mat and gently rolling yourself up into comfortable sitting. And taking your hands to the heart center, just thanking the body for that good practice and for always supporting us in our daily lives. And then hands to the forehead for kind and loving thoughts. Hands to the mouth for kind and loving words. And then back to the heart center for always staying open in love. We can say namaste. Thank you. Oh. Good. So that was a good workout for strengthening your feet and your knees and your hips.
So we had a bit of dog